Good morning, good day sa lahat ng ating mga estudyante sa Technical Drafting 10. This day, we're going to practice lahat ng mga natutunan natin sa ating AutoCAD web. Napagdaanan natin, alam na natin kung paano gumawa ng mga lines, circles, arcs, polygons, and p-lines doon sa ating AutoCAD web. Ngayon, ipuput into practice na natin lahat ng learnings natin na yon dito sa ating set of practice drawing. At ang una nating practice drawing is this one. So nakikita ninyo, parang formang bahay. We have here the angles and also the length of the sides. So idodraw natin ito dito sa ating web AutoCAD. Okay. So, first, tingnan natin. Actually, pwede kang magsimula kahit saang point dito for as long as you're comfortable with it. For me, I am comfortable starting with this horizontal line na nasa ibaba which measures 20 units. Yan, si horizontal line na merong measurement na 20 units. So, dito ako sa AutoCAD, I will call the command line by pressing letter L or typing letter L, then enter. Okay. Pwede din naman, I will type the whole name line in the command line and then press enter. Okay. So, I will start at any point. So, for example, I will start at this point. Okay. Take note that yung green na line is because naka-on kasi ang aking object snap. Okay? Dapat i-on ninyo yan, si object snap, si object track, at saka si polar tracking. Okay? Naka-on ang aking object snap, so every time I will draw a horizontal line, automatic merong guide na magpapakita. So, it means kung, for example, hindi ko talaga na perfectly nalagay na horizontal yung line ko, hindi magpapakita yung green na line. So, pag nagpakita yung green na line, so it means that perfectly horizontal yung ginawa mong line or gagawin mong line. So, the measurement for our horizontal line is, we have here 20 units. So, I will type 20 units, 20, and enter. Okay. So, that is the line, horizontal line na may measurement na 20 units. Next, okay, is the vertical line. Okay, starting from the end of this horizontal line. So, vertical line, or we call that as perpendicular to this 20 units na horizontal line, meron siyang perpendicular na 10 units na line. So let's draw. So alam din natin na perpendicular or perfectly vertical line yung dino natin kasi meron din tayong guide. Okay. Now, we will put 10 units. Okay, so that is now our next problem is that there is actually an inclusive angle between this line, 10 units na line and 12 units na line. There is actually an inclusive angle of 125. There is actually a little problem here because in AutoCAD, if we're going to observe this, the angle is actually basing in the first quarter or the first quadrant, I'm sorry. So the angle here, if you're going to notice this one, ang starting point niya ay nasa quadrant 1. Okay? So, how are we going to calculate 125 inclusive angle when actually our angle has a reference in this first quadrant. So ito talaga ganito talaga tumatakbo yung angle sa AutoCAD. So yung kailangan natin na 125, kailangan natin i-calculate yan. Okay? Kasi yung reference angle natin, kasi yung angle natin is naka-base or nandito siya dito siya nagsisimula sa first quadrant. Yan. Okay. So how are we going to calculate that? First, let us solve this one. I have here, okay. For example, our scenario. Let me draw first our scenario. So we have, for example, this line is actually, this is the 10 unit na line. And then this is our next line, which is actually the angle, the inclusive angle for this, kailangan natin 125. Di ba? 125 yan. 125 degrees. Okay? So let us say ganyan lang. 125. Mm, okay. 125 degrees. So let me just write an asterisk saying asterisk is okay means degrees kasi ang hirap na all with 25 degrees tapos ita-type mo yung whole word na degrees. So ganyanin na lang natin. So we have 125 degrees. Our angle or in AutoCAD, the angle actually is starting in this location which is the first quadrant. Okay? Try to look at it, the angle, no? It's moving and the number also increasing and decreasing. So we need to find a way for that. So since the angle is actually uh, starting in this point, which is the first quadrant, so we need to solve this. So lalagyan ko muna para ma-imagine natin, lalagyan ko muna yan ng mga lines. Okay. So alam natin na ang angle na ito, straight line siya, that is 180. 180. Yung tinatawag nating straight angle. 180 yan. So, divide into, kasi nga dito tayo nagsisimula, dito sa first quadrant, so meron niyang 90. 90 degrees. At dito rin sa ibaba, meron din niyang 90 degrees. Okay. Dalawang 90 degrees. Or should I put this symbol? Okay, dalawang 90s yan. Okay, now, so the remaining part na hindi pa talaga natin alam is this point or this angle. Okay, we don't have an idea of that yet. Okay, but once we solve that, okay, once we solve that, ang gagawin na lang natin is we're going to add that angle, the measurement of this angle, we're going to add it on our 90 degrees here, okay, to get the exact 125. Kasi andito sa ating AutoCAD, yan siya, okay, Pag nakuha natin ang angle na ito dito, papunta dito, ang matitira na lang na angle na yan will be our yan, 25. Okay? Ang problema natin ngayon. Diyan. So, the remaining angle will be 125. If we can solve, we are able to solve the angle from this point to that point. So, ano kaya yan? So, meron na tayo, ano na to? It's either nasa ano yan. Baka nasa 135 up to 140. Yan, ganyan. No? 150. Yan, we have an idea. But, let us be precise. So, in order for us to be more precise, kailangan natin i-solve ito. So, ano kaya itong angle na ito? May idea na kayo? Okay? Yung iba, may idea na. We know that this straight angle is 180. So, this 180 na ito, itong 180 na ito from this point to this point, 180. Okay? 180 yan. So, itong angle na ito, alam natin that this is 180 kasi nga straight angle 180 degrees yan. Okay? Kaya ito, 90 plus 90, 180. So, yung straight na angle na yan, 180 yan. Now, paano ngayon natin ito malalaman kung ano ito? Okay. Ang gagawin natin, si 180, ima-minus natin, or si 180, babawasan natin ng 125 degrees. Ang matitira, ito na lang. Okay? Para ma-solve natin ito, kailangan natin makuha o ma-minus ang 125 dito ni 180. Okay? Kung baga sa algebra, let us say, tawagin natin ito yung ating variable na x. Ito yung angle natin. Tawagin natin ito na angle pala. So, tawagin natin itong angle na alpha. Okay? So, kailangan si alpha, pag inad natin ni 125 degrees, 125 degrees, okay, angle yan, dapat ang result niyan is 180 degree. Ayan. So, ano nga gagawin natin? So, solve lang natin. So, si alpha, okay, plus 125 degrees. Okay, 125 degrees. Pangit ng degrees. Yan. Minus 125 degrees. So, pag nag-minus tayo sa side na ito, dapat mag-minus din tayo ng, kasi equal nga, di ba? Kasi dahil equal, kung nagbawas ka dito, magbabawas ka rin dito kasi equal nga sila. Kasi A180 wala pa ng degrees. Yan, natin ang degrees. Yan, si 180 degrees minus 125 degrees. Okay, so what do we get? With alpha, kasi magiging 0 ito, alpha plus 0. So, 180 minus 125. So, let's use our calculator. 180 minus 125. So, we have 55. The answer here is 55 degrees. Alpha now is equal to 55 degrees, or alpha is equal to 55 degrees. Yan. Okay. So therefore, our alpha here is not a question mark anymore, is actually 55. We have 55 degrees. Okay. So ito, 55 degrees natin dyan. So we have that 55 degrees. So our next problem is that, okay, we can add now. So 55 plus 90, because this is our real target based on our AutoCAD. Yan, tignan niyo si AutoCAD, oh. Naghihintay na lang yan ng input. Yan. So, we're just going to add, I will erase this one. So we're just going to add one, or just going to add 90. So let's add 90. So that is 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees plus 55 degrees. 55 degrees is actually, yes, it's correct. It's 145 145 degrees. So the total is actually uh, the total is 145 degrees. We have it. So therefore, dito kailangan pala natin itong i-adjust ng 145 degrees. So si 144, yan, 145. So i-lock natin 145 degrees. Tapos, wait. Okay, kailangan natin ng 145. Tapos, yung length ng ating, kita ninyo? Okay, hindi na yan mag-a-adjust ng angle kasi na-lock na-type ko na. Tapos, tab, kailangan kasi nating i-adjust yung length pa, which is 12. Then, tsaka lang hit enter. Okay, that's it. Now, our next problem, if we look back to our, okay, let us have our next, the angle. Okay, between this 12 units na side, there is actually an inclusive angle of 110. Okay, so here in AutoCAD, again, the angle is naka-base dito. Okay, naka-base yan dito. So, ano ngayon yung i-input natin dito sa angle natin para makuha natin si 110 degrees? Okay. Dapat lumagpas pa tayo sa 110 degrees kasi nga hindi dito naka-base yung angle, kundi dito sa ating first quadrant. Okay. Yan siya, magre-revolve siya. Yan. Diyan. Okay. So, our next problem is that. So, ang problema natin, we have actually 110 here. So, ano ngayon yung, or ilan ngayon yung idadagdag natin sa ating 110 para ma-supply natin itong, o ma-solve natin itong problema natin sa angle na ito. Okay, now, let us go back to our whiteboard. Okay, I will erase this. Okay. Now, if you notice, okay, so if I will draw a line, and this point to this point. Okay, for example like that, no? Example, ganyan siya. Okay, notice na yung 110 is hanggang dito lang. That point to that point, that is 110 degrees. Okay. Now, our problem is that kasi si AutoCAD, dito siya magsisimula sa ating first quadrant, which is that one. So, our next na problem here is that itong angle from this side, okay, to this side. Okay. Yan yung problema natin. Now, itong side na ito, 110. So, itong angle na dito, 110. So, ang problema na lang natin is this one. So, yung angle natin dito, ito. Ano ngayon yan? Okay? So, yan ngayon yung problema natin, yung angle na yan. Kasi, pag nakuha natin yan, i-add natin yung 120, solve ang problema natin. O, yan. Diba? Alam natin na si 120 andito na sa gitna, pero itong angle dito, hindi pa ito nasa-solve. So, kailangan natin i-solve yan. Okay, now, if you notice, there is actually, there is already a, what kind of this, what can I say, meron ng mga na-solve na angle dito. If you notice, meron tayong triangle na nabuo dito. And then we know na the sum of the angles in a triangle is equal to 180. So, right now, na-solve na natin itong angle na ito which is 55. At alam din natin na itong angle na ito, because these two lines here, the vertical and the horizontal line, perpendicular yan. So, dapat ang angle dyan is 90. Perpendicular yan sila. Okay. So, since 90 degrees na dito, we have 55 dito. So, pwede na nating ibawas yan. So, the remaining will be this point. So, meron tayong mangyayari niyan, 180 minus 90 minus 55. So, isa-solve natin. Okay, we have 180 minus 90 minus 55. The answer is 35. So, we have 35. Insert natin yan. So, yan. Meron pala tayong 35. Saan galing itong 180? Kasi nga, yung ginawa nating horizontal line at vertical line, nag-produce siya ng triangle. Which is, yung intersection dito, merong 90 degrees kasi nga perpendicular yung horizontal at vertical line natin. Now, na-solve na natin ito kanina, itong angle na ito, which is 55. So, ang problema na lang natin is itong angle na ito, which is, na-solve na natin, that is 35. So, ito pala, I will erase this. Solved na siya. Ang answer is 35 degrees. Okay, so yan pala si 35 degree. So, para ma-solve natin ang angle dito, papunta dito, okay, from this side, no. So, from from this side to this side, okay, is like saying uh 110 plus 35 plus we have 35 na ito plus 110. So we have 145. Oh, 145. So we have 145. It's 145. So okay, so from this angle, I will what I call this? I will erase this. Okay, from this side, okay, to that side, I will replace by this okay. So from that point to this point is actually 45 degrees. Okay? So, back in our AutoCAD, ito pala ay, okay, tab natin, 145 degrees. At yung ating measurement, ang ating line, ito, is 12 units. So, we have, natin, we have 145 and 12 units. Okay. And then, pwede nating isara dyan. Okay. May sobra. No? Pero pwede na nating i-trim yan. Ito exact. Anyway, so let us trim. Okay. So there you have it. Na-solve na natin ang ating first practice drawing. Ating first practice drawing. And actually, there is a shortcut. Whenever we have this problem, delete ko muna ito. For example, nakita ninyo na itong side na ito is kapareho lang ng side na ito. There is actually a function or a command in AutoCAD that can actually give you the mirror image of this side. Pwede mong ilagay to this side. Given na kapareho lang ng measurement at kapareho lang ng mukha from this side, dito sa side na ito at dito sa side na ito. Okay? We can actually activate the mirror command. Type lang natin MI. Okay, that is shortcut for mirror. Yan. Then hit enter. Okay? So, iselect lang natin yung object na gusto nating i-mirror. Okay? For example, itong dalawang line na ito, gusto nating i-mirror. Ito, hindi na ito kailangan ng horizontal. Ito na lang. So, I will select this line. Okay, then since multiple lines ito, kailangan pindutin natin yung shift. Tapos, wag munang bibitawan si shift. Press ka ulit ng another line. Okay, yan. Then, bitawan mo si shift, you hit enter. Press enter. Okay, now, magpa-prompt ngayon ng ganitong crosshair. So, kailangan mo, ang next na gagawin mo is that kailangan mo siyang ilagay doon sa point kung saan sila merong parang konting intersection doon sa ka-mirror niya. For example, I will point this to this point. Okay. So, pag click ko dyan, then I will drag it down. Okay, tignan ninyo. Yellow na line. So, alam nyo na kung bakit dito ko pinoint yung first point ko. Dito ako nag-click sa first point kasi dito sila yung parang intersection nilang dalawa dyan. Pero kailangan ko siyang i-drag pababa kasi hahanapin ko yung midpoint niya dito. Ayan. Tapos, click again. Okay. Ayan. Tapos, huwag ka muna ha. Tapos, erase source object? No. Okay. Ayan. Nabuo na. Okay, parang shortcut. Using the mirror image. Using the mirror image. Yan. So, meron pa tayong mga iba pa na mga exercises dito sa ating PDF na file. Isi-send ko sa inyo ito and I want you to practice. No? Practice on these exercises. Okay? So, yan lang muna.